Looking at him.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good Monday morning.
Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning. Welcome to How You Livin' with Dr. Kiva and
Robin B. Hey guys, how
so
you
how you
doing?
living this Monday?
You know what? We're living pretty good because we got a new home now. So
Yep.
I like that.
A new home is it's always good to have a new home.
It sure is. We were
Uh-huh.
homeless for what, a week
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, yeah. But our dude was on top of
Oh,
it.
he is always on. The captain of the ship. He steered that ship perfectly.
I know. I'm
And I gotta
glad.
give it to him. I gotta give it to him. I like our new home. It's
I
cool.
know, right?
Yeah.
It's so we're all in the middle of Midtown Houston. So we are in the center of the city.
And everything's happening in Midtown. I mean, this is the
Uh-huh.
place to be right now. It's got history, it's got a lot of art, a lot of culture,
Exactly.
it's got a lot of money, you know.
And of course, she's already brought up pancakes.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
I wanted to see what Midtown food tastes like. I'm always eating up there in the West Side. So yeah, I had my pancakes, had
I
my
don't know.
eggs, bacon.
I don't know. Am I going to be able to make her a vegan?
I
Yeah.
want you to know that I spent a lot of time eating vegan food since I've known you. I
Oh,
told you
okay.
I had
So,
2 vegan burgers. I even
hmm
got Jeff converted, which is amazing.
right.
I went and had some vegan. I went to Vigos, like you told
Okay,
me.
okay.
Yep,
So
and
what do you think of
and
Vigos?
even my family's doing it now, so it's very contagious. It
Okay.
seems like vegan is the new black. I like it. That's pretty cool too. I like that. Green's the new black. So thank you.
Well,
We
you are
all, on
welcome. You
behalf
are
of my
welcome.
intestines, I want to thank you.
Exactly. Oh, so the new thing I've learned about raw food,
Uh huh.
not really new, but whenever you cook food above 118
Uh
degrees,
huh.
you kill the enzymes.
I think I heard
Yeah,
something
and
about
as
that.
we get older, our body decrease in enzymes,
Right.
and the enzymes are needed for digestion.
Okay.
So that's when people start to have more flatulence, or
Yes.
AKA
Uh
gas,
huh.
and it's because of decrease of enzymes. Yeah,
Oh.
so it's good to eat. I mean, even if it's just in some of your meals, have raw kale.
Yeah.
Have something raw so you can increase
Okay.
the enzymes in your body.
But then I also heard that some raw foods can do the same thing to you.
What?
Like raw foods can kind of mess up your.
Well, no, they could give you a little flatulence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they
yeah.
definitely
Okay.
can. But I'm just saying,
Okay.
as far as the
But
enzymes,
don't
we
overcook
don't
food.
overcook because
Okay.
my grandmother would overcook.
Well, you know
I
we
didn't
like
know
well done.
I didn't know greens were actually green when I was little, or they looked like they were little
They're like
brown.
grayish green. Yeah, brownish
Exactly.
brown.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And the poor cabbage would be like just really loose. So we just
That's
grew
how
up.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to
But
watch the
that's good to
enzymes
know.
now.
I'm going to learn so much from you, I swear. But once you get me into yoga, then I'll be
Oh,
really,
okay.
I'll be complete.
So
So
did you bring the tea of the day?
I got some tea today. I did my favorite combo. I told you I got a new combo that I love, which is just green tea and black tea. So it's super,
Nice.
super
So you just
antioxidant.
giving all antioxidants.
I'm loving it. Now I hope I didn't. I always get a little nervous when I'm making it for other people, so
Right.
I may have overdone it, but we'll see. I have you all check it out. The cups are a little bit bigger now too, so
Oh,
you can
okay. Oh,
really get a
that's
good
good.
taste.
So
Yeah, I
did you do
will.
anything exciting this weekend?
Oh good Lord, what did I do? You know, it's so weird how these weekends go by. I don't. One thing I did do, and it's broken my heart, is I killed all my plants. I had the most beautiful garden, and just like I killed my fish, I don't leave well enough alone. That is one of my problems. My fish were happy. They were chilling. I had them for like 6, 7 years. I said, well, let me bring in a bottom feeder, keep them nice and clean, and Jeff won't have to clean the tank so often.
Right.
He killed one by one. They all ended up at the top. And it broke my heart because we had a real good relationship. Well, I did the same thing with my beautiful flowers. I said, let me go get some mulch so that will hold the moisture. And even though I water them every day,
you couldn't leave well enough alone.
Everything's brown, so I got to start all over. So that was my tragic weekend. It was bad. It was bad. But I did get a new machine. I don't know if I should tell you about it. You're on Instagram, right? All right. Have you seen that machine? It's called the DB method. It's the girl doing the squats on the machine, and she's going all the way down. It's to build the butt up. Girl, they got me. They got me in. But it's for the whole body. But I could not resist. Every time I saw that girl do it, I said, I gotta try it.
Now she's gonna have this bad rep of always trying to build her butt.
But it's not just for the butt, it's for the whole body. It's just that the butt is the primary focus.
That's like when we had the personal trainer. What was she talking about? Building a butt.
It's all about the butt. I used to have a fabulous butt, okay? I gotta bring it back. I'm not ready to let it go.
That is too funny.
But I know that is a lot of frivolity, and this is really a very serious week.
I'm sorry.
Our elections are under attack. I mean, big time. Our voters are under attack. Our postal. All right, you know I have a business. I do a lot of my business online. I purposely use the Postal Service to support them. UPS is available, FedEx, but I want to support our Postal Service because, I mean, they've been there from the beginning of time. They seem to always be under attack. And now, I mean, they are just being blatantly attacked. So I really would like to have a conversation about that, too, with our guests.
So speaking of guests, who's our guest for today?
We have a very illustrious lady of the Democratic Party that I could not even believe that she was going to be. I just reached out to her and said, do you know somebody that could be on our show for Democratic Week? She's like, I'd love to. I'm like, what? What? Oh my God. So yeah, we are very, very pumped up. But before we're doing so well. We're getting so grown. Because I didn't ask if you got to do anything fun. And it wasn't all about me.
It's always about you.
I don't mean it to be. But bear in mind, I suffer from middle child syndrome. Just remember that, okay? You're an only child. So you got all the attention.
Only child and Scorpio.
I got no attention. And I'm a flighty Libra, okay? So we're very airy.
We're that yin and yang.
No, we're going to make it, right?
Exactly. You know, of course, it was always still yoga training. So I'm always
yoga.
I told you I'm doing this herbology thing, too.
No, you did not.
Okay, well, I will talk about it next time.
Okay, because I need to participate. Okay.
Okay, what I learn, you learn.
Okay, please. Okay. I'll teach you all about, you don't need to know about butt lifting. You're good.
I'm not
yoga's
curious.
Doing that for you.
So now tell us about our guest.
Okay. I am going to introduce our guest. I'll give you a little, should I do her bio now before we bring her on?
No. Just give them a teaser.
Okay. This lady is a powerhouse, okay? So she is the chair. She has several roles, but she is basically the chair of the Democratic Coalition for Houston. And I'll be a lot more articulate once she comes up and I read it properly. But basically, I met her at this international trade event. And she just impressed me immediately. And we became fast friends, like, immediately. And she's a very big supporter of my tea. She actually was going to get me a booth at the convention before COVID struck.
Oh, wow.
I was going to have a booth for my tea.
Nice.
So, I love her.
But, it's how the universe works. Because this is an ideal time for her to come talk to us because we're going to say, well, what do we need to do? Where can we go? So we know we have the person and we can definitely
need direction. Ask. Absolutely.
And anybody. And so we're live on Facebook. So if you have any questions, type them in the Facebook and then I can ask those questions to her so you can connect.
Idea.
So yeah.
That would be great. Yes, please get involved, people. There got to be some questions out there.
Exactly. So we'll take a little break here and we're going to bring up our guests. And please send us some questions.
Yeah.
Because this is a trying time right now. So
she has the answers.
Exactly. So we'll be right back.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Between the ages of 0 and 5, a child's mind is very impressionable. Researchers call it the theta brainwave. This low frequency is the state of consciousness between the conscious and subconscious worlds. In this state, the mind is capable of deep and profound learning, healing, and growth. There is a subconscious loop that's created during these early years. Who you believe you are has been downloaded based on experiences that you have had. A bad experience could create fears and limitations. Do you love who you are? Do you believe in yourself? The reality is that you can't control your childhood. All you can do is interpret it. You can choose to see your good and your value. Try this experiment. Project forward. See yourself at 80 years old. Now you have lived a lifetime. What advice would you have for your younger self? What risks would you have taken? What relationships would you have avoided? Did you celebrate life? Did you allow yourself to feel, to be present? Your 80-year-old self would tell you to not live in fear, to have faith that things will work out, that all you have to do is persist until you succeed. Your 80-year-old self would tell you to stay healthy, to take care of your body. And it would ultimately tell you to share your gifts with the world.
Okay, guys, we are back, and we are back with a very special guest. I would love to introduce to you guys the Honorable Sharon Berry. I'm going to give you a little quick bio. Her bio is about 4 pages long, so it's only an hour-long show, so we're encapsulated a little bit. So She was born and educated in Louisiana. Chairman Berry is the youngest of 7 siblings. She attended college at Southern University A&M College in Baton Rouge. She was introduced to politics at an early age by her mom. They used to do a lot of volunteering together and driving folks to the polls, right? Right. Yeah. And in college, she volunteered and served as a precinct chair, poll commissioner, community activist, and she's also a proud veteran, a second lieutenant from the Army. So that is really awesome.
Nice.
And she was commissioned through the ROTC, which my husband was too, so that's cool. Ms. Berry currently serves as vice chairman of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats. And I know she is posted in Love Lady, Texas, which is a lovely name. She's the chair of the Houston County Democratic Party. And as chairman of, this is really impressive, as the chairman of HCDP, voter registration increased by 50%. Voter turnout tripled, and political activism soared, okay? So, the city of Crockett went from red to blue, all right? And electing Democrats, and the community involvement began to rise under her leadership. Crockett elected a Democratic mayor, and 3 of the 4 positions in the city council are Democrats. That is remarkable. Ladies and gentlemen, we would love to introduce you to Miss Berry. All right, yay! Sharon Berry, welcome to the show. We couldn't ask for a better time for you to be here.
Thank you.
Today's the kickoff of the DNC.
Yes.
How you got away, I have no idea, because I know you've been super busy for the last, 5 months?
So everything is virtual, though, right?
Yes.
It's all virtual.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Just the key people. I went to Milwaukee, but yes, everything is virtual.
Okay.
So I admit I wasn't into politics. I wasn't that person. The person that we have now forced me to feel a certain way about politics.
Mm-hmm.
So with the job with the chairperson for the Houston Democratic Party of Houston, what exactly do you do?
What I do is I recruit, engage Democrats. The population that's in place. When I was the Democratic Party, when I joined Houston County, we had less than 200, 300 people that were voting, and so as opposed to paying the fee, you could get signatures, and you could get less than 30 signatures to run for any office. So the first thing we needed to do was register people to vote. Mm-hmm. So that's what we did. Houston County is a population of about 26,000. And so we went from 2,000 people, less than 2,000 voting, to now we have 53% of the population. And my goal, hopefully, is to have up in the 80s, 90%. One of my other prime responsibilities are to make sure that there are Democrats on the ballot, to make sure the community knows what the Democratic Party is about and how it impacts or affects Houston County. My job, that's to bring the outside influence in, and then also I have to let the Democratic Party know what Houston County needs specifically. I make sure that on every committee that we have a Democratic person to represent what the Democratic Party of Houston County is about. And we develop that plan through your county executive committee, which is made up of the chair and all of your precinct chairs. And that's why it's so important that every position is filled. Because if you don't have a precinct person to represent, quote unquote, your neighborhood, then we don't know what your neighborhood needs. Because my responsibility is broader, it's the whole county. I need someone, and Texas, every county needs a precinct chair. To me, they're more important than a county chair.
Wow.
So you're the voice of the people, basically. So
Yes.
it's like you're the voice of the people, then you go to, and it goes up the line, and that's how they find out what is needed.
And then also when we have our quarterly meetings with the Texas Democratic Party or our Senate District Executive Committee, then as a county chair, I bring what those decisions and that conversation is about. I bring that back to Houston County and let them know how the state or your Senate district as a whole, what we're working on.
And so as a citizen of Houston, I can go to your website and I can see all of this information?
Yes.
Good question.
Yes. And that's one thing. I'm a part of Senate District 3, and we have a wonderful webmaster, and every county has
Mm-hmm.
their own website, www.HoustonCountyTexasDemocraticParty.org, and you can find basically everything, the general part of what the Texas Democratic Party, and then what's unique to Houston County, and every county should have that. You should have a list of all of your precinct chairs if they're filled, and also you'll see the ones that need your help or your input.
Now, what was the website again? Because I know my mother's going to write it down.
www.HoustonCountyTexasDemocrats.org.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, yeah, a lot of people know who their congressman, not really, but they know what a congressperson is. So a precinct chair is definitely something we need to make people more aware of.
Yes, and that's because that's key to who's my congressman,
Right.
who's my senator, what Senate district am I in?
Mm-hmm.
Because most people get your voter registration card,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't even think to look at that. It has that. I'm in Senate District 8. I'm in precinct so and so. My county commissioner is this and all that stuff. But again, if you have those questions, contact your precinct chair or county chair, because through the Voter Activation Network, which is a wonderful tool that the Texas Democratic Party has available to all county chairs, it gives us eyes on our current voters, especially the ones that's registered, and we can go through that tool and help you see the last time you voted, when you did not vote. And if with your precinct chair, you can say, hey, I want to run a report of everybody that lives on MLK Drive on the west side, blah blah blah, and give me the demographics of 18 to 30 of my Hispanic population on this street, and you get that. And so with that tool and with that chair position being filled, it gives you a better chance of success to reach your voters, because now you have a specific need that you can address.
So if someone, because my mom was like, ask how can I help, she needs to go to the website, not call, but go to the website, and they can
go to the website.
There'll be a phone number there.
Absolutely, but reach out to her county chair.
Okay, county chair.
And she can tell her specifically what the needs are. If she has a precinct chair, or she'll tell her who your precinct chair is, and what we need. We need workers. We definitely need workers for the November election, and I think Harris County is paying $17 an hour. So please tell the high schoolers and college.
There's some
pretty
people
good.
who aren't working right now.
Right.
That's
You
not-
guys hear that? $17 an hour.
That's
And that's just to do, I guess, phone calls and text messages.
and work at the polls.
and working the polls.
Because like most poll workers, especially in rural counties, and I'm sure it goes for Harris County as well, the workforce is the elderly.
Right.
And they're really, really vulnerable during this time. And so we need people there. And not only just to do the regular duties and responsibility. Now we have, after pollers come in, you need somebody to spray, to wipe, to do things. So you need people, because some people who may not want to, can you believe it, there are some people who still refuse to wear a mask. Then we can give them the option of doing curbside voting. So stay in the car, and we will come out there and give that to you. So you need people to do that.
Well, that's nice with the curbside voting.
I didn't know that.
We do not want people to be inconvenienced. We don't want people to just kind of throw up their hands and say it's not worth it, because with this administration and this climate that they systematically do everything to make you not want to vote. And so what we should do is systematically put in measures to make it easier for people to vote. And so, we can't force you to put on a mask, even though we should.
Right.
But I can force you not to come in and jeopardize everybody else. So if you don't want to wear one, then we'll just offer you curbside voting.
So how does that work? Is there like a little
something?
machine? Oh, the iPad? Is that how they vote?
Well, for us, we have the iPad.
I didn't know you could do that.
We have I don't know the name. We have a little machine though.
Okay.
And then paper ballots. See,
Wonderful.
every measure has to be available.
Yes. On
Every
steroids
measure.
this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, whatever you need, and again, that's where your precinct chair comes in, because they'll know 30% of my voting population is over 60. I have to make provisions for those who with disabilities, wheelchairs, and that's a part of it anyway. But because of the COVID environment, we have to go the extra step and make those same issues and measures outside if they don't want to come in the building.
So that's good to know for sure.
Are you guys concerned at all with the that their mail-in ballots may be circumvented?
Yes, I'm very concerned, because we've experienced this in rural Texas, where 1 to 2 votes can make the difference for us.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I think we had 38. My post office is about from here, maybe I say 200 yards from the election office, and we had votes that were postmarked the 19th of February. Didn't get to the election office until like 3-4 weeks later, and they were late because the regulation says that it has to reach the election administrator by a certain time, not postmarked.
Right.
So if it sits at the post office 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, and then it gets to her, because the system is the system,
right?
Then they don't have to count it.
So early voting is very important.
It's very, very important. But if you are hampering or prohibiting the post office from doing what they're supposed to do, then it's the same thing. Because if you got 1 million ballots that's sitting in a corner and they don't get to your election administrator till 1 day past the deadline, it doesn't matter that they sit over there. It says when it gets to the election administrator.
There should be a way to track your vote,
Right.
Okay, so if you do a mail-in, you can track it?
Absolutely. As soon on that envelope, as soon as that post office scans it, real-time tracking. That envelope is.
Just like any package?
Just like
I
any
never
package.
noticed that.
That's that barcode, real-time.
I've always voted in person, so that's probably why I never paid. My mom has always voted by mail. She's always done early voting by mail. But Dr. Kiva had a wonderful point, a wonderful question. Is there any way that we could employ UPS or FedEx?
Well, they're looking into that.
That's a really good idea.
That came up.
So smart.
we have a legal team.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm
the
like, you guys
coalition
gotta,
has a
you
legal
got to bring a
team.
gun
And
to
so
this gunfight.
We are actually trying to exercise every measure to make sure everybody ballot counts.
Was there a high percentage of people that voted by mail in the last election in Texas?
Or the primary.
Really?
The last primary.
Okay.
And it's because of the pandemic.
Right.
But we always do really well, the Democratic Party.
Okay.
With
mail-in. And they know that.
Hence the problem.
That's why,
exactly.
And that's why they targeted that avenue. We do really well with mail-in.
So how, or is the Democratic Party doing anything to really push the initiative for minorities to vote? I mean, I know there is.
That's
but,
a fantastic question. I think we got to take a break.
We're taking a break.
So it gives you a minute. Do we need to take a break right now? Just checking with the producer.
So we're going to take a little break, and we're going to talk about how we can work on getting more minorities to vote, because it's very important for us to vote. So we'll take a brief minute and not that long. But and also, if you have any questions, please post them on Facebook, and we'll be able to ask Miss Berry some more questions about voting in this political environment.
Yes.
So
we want you guys to be involved.
Back.
Be right back. Sorry.
This is former Rocket Robert Reed.
This is Mel Jewell of Athletes United.
And we want to talk to you of our new program and podcast. We're talking about former athletes who are doing a lot of things in the community.
Various athletes in various sports. Swimming, track, soccer, football, baseball, you name it.
Former and current athletes here in the greater Houston area.
All promoting wellness, health. All promoting that which makes us all better.
Of Edge Radio, truth still matters.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Welcome back to How You Livin' on the Edge Radio Network. So, of course, sometimes during the break, that's when we have the best conversations. So now I know where I can hit up someone for some vegetables. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to get your number. Make sure you call me. Yeah. So you say, oh, we got the zucchini and squash. You'll be like, okay, I'm going to come.
Now it's 100 miles away. But it's worth the drive.
I'll meet you halfway.
Oh, okay.
That's
so nice. See? That's so nice. What's that, Hunter?
You got to vote.
Vote. Because we need to keep her in the veggies.
Exactly. Healthy living. So we were going to talk about getting minorities to vote. So I know that you guys definitely have a plan, but what can we do as citizens, and what is the plan that you guys do have?
The one thing that I think works across the board, if you reach out to your family, your friends, they'll respond faster to you than they would me.
Right.
So we ask that, in my community, we have an elderly lady in her 80s, but at her family reunions, there are over 300 people. I could send out an email or text message. It'd probably go to trash. Mm-hmm. But when I call her and she sends something out, people will respond to her. She's the matriarch. That's one way. The other way is any kind of youth organization. The other thing is especially high school.
Right.
If you support your high school football team, high school sports, whatever, chances are you'll get the parents and the people who have just kind of become, just in this apathetic mode. Yeah. You got to try to find that one thing that interests people, that connects people, and it's always our youth. Mm-hmm. Texas is big in sports. We're energizing the HBCUs because that's the demographic. Everybody's over 18, so you would think everybody on college campuses vote.
And they're becoming more and more activists. It seems like this year, definitely. So they understand at this point the importance of this election.
Now that's interesting, because what would you say to someone, because you hear it, I'm not going to vote, and my vote doesn't count.
Yeah.
So what language can we use with that person to say, to get them to shift their thoughts?
Yes.
Well, in today's political climate, everything affects everyone. Bernie and a lot of the presidential candidate platforms was foregoing college loans, free education for those in college, who want to experiment with, smoking marijuana, getting high, legalize that. So it's something, and I think the one basic thing was we were striving for a minimum wage of $15.
And you were so close.
And health care.
Yeah.
So it's nothing that you do today or in your life that's not affected. So we just have to find that one thing. So and that comes with a conversation.
Right.
Unemployment.
Right.
Unemployment. You graduate from college and you are not guaranteed employment.
Right.
If you go to McDonald's, who's your cashiers and your clerks? Older people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've noticed that.
Who should be home.
Right.
So they're in competition with high schoolers, with something that used to be just an after-school job just to get a little money. Mm-hmm. Your college graduates who going into corporate America. Now corporate America is the workforce is older,
right?
Because pensions are cut and people can't live.
They don't even have them,
and they don't even have them. You can't plan for tomorrow or this nest egg when you didn't even have the nest. Forget the egg.
Right.
I know it was one. I think his name was Dr. Carr. He's a professor at Howard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so he was saying when people were talking about
all week. Oh my goodness.
So he was talking about when people were saying that they don't want to vote or there's no need to vote, but then you see how judges and stuff are being voted in, and then when something happens, the first thing you go is, "Hey, what about my rights? I have rights." So it's like, well, you didn't vote the judges in that would hold up those rights.
And that's what they mean when they say elections have consequences.
Elections have consequences.
Which that brings me to another question. When she mentioned it, let's say, hopefully, Biden gets in. Is there anything he can do to undo all of those federal judges that have been put in by Trump?
Federal judges, huh?
Well, he's put a lot of. I mean, I know they have lifetime, but so can they? You know how a lot of times when a new administration comes, a lot of people lose their jobs. Does that apply to the judges as well, or the appellate judges?
But we had a forum with the 4 judicial female candidates running for the Supreme Court, and I asked that question. I said, when you are elected, what is the one thing that you can change or provide some kind of impact that will undo some of the damage?
Yes.
Right. And each one of them had an answer. And I'm going to make sure I have Stacey Williams running for Supreme Court. I want you guys to have her as a guest. I'm putting it out there. Stacey, you need to come on here.
Yes, Stacey.
Okay.
That
well, then
question.
I'm going to need her to promise me to get rid of some of those nasty
no promise.
Let's talk about nasty.
First, let's try to get her on the show.
Yeah, we're going to get her. No,
yes,
I think we've got really a pipeline.
I really
right?
and I think
is she located in Texas?
No, she's in Dallas.
Okay, Texas.
They're running for Supreme Court. 4 of them. They'll come.
Oh, she'll come. Okay.
Yeah, they will come.
That'd be great.
And that's the top of our ticket. We have 2 African American people. Stacey Williams running for Supreme Court.
We have to invite her down.
Yes.
Okay.
Amy Meacham Clark, Kathy Ching, and Isla Triana. What's great about that? You have an African American, Caucasian, Asian, and Italian, Hispanic.
Beautiful.
That's diversity. Yeah. But as far as young people, everything about this election affects each of us.
Right.
Stacey, Judge William does like a judicial academy to answer those questions.
Oh, that's nice.
If you get to my court, that means A, B, C has happened, and this is what can happen. D, E, F. Because people don't understand that.
Right.
They don't understand it. I try, one of the worst myths, and I don't know how this got started, of people always not wanting to serve on juries.
Oh, you know what? Here's my personal reason. I do not, and I've served on juries.
I was about to say, is she trying to say she's one of those?
Oh, I'm going to tell you, I don't want to say I'm going to give you a hung jury, but if I believe someone is innocent, I don't care if 11 of you don't. So fortunately, this beautiful, wonderful, I won't take you down the rabbit hole, but he represented himself so well. A 19-year-old young man who was accused of having marijuana in his car. And I had they looked like Republicans on and I was the only, ink spot. So it blew my mind. I was prepared for a fight, but it blew my mind. They acquitted him. And I was so pleased that I didn't have to put up a big fight. But I think maybe one of the reasons people don't want to be on juries because you don't want to be responsible for somebody's being locked up.
I don't even think that would be one thing. They just
staying here
again. They just don't have time out of their day.
Do you think that's
it?
I don't mind.
I tell you responsibility.
I would happily be on a civil jury. I don't want to be on a criminal.
Those sentences, you impact on the way that group reaches that decision, and you're not comfortable with whatever's going on. You
have the right to say so,
and we more than anyone should be on jury.
Absolutely.
My daughter sit on a mass murder, and I think she was one of the reasons he didn't get the death penalty.
She was the holdout.
Because she did it. She said, but it wasn't premeditated. He didn't get up that morning and say he was going to do this.
Right. And that is supposed to be a condition. Yeah.
Right.
And
Well,
I
you know
think
what?
if people
And you
need to
have to
plug
know
into,
who-
they need
it's
to
very
plug into
subjective.
all their, like voting. They need to make sure they're plugged into
You're
that.
right.
So it's like if you can't plug into the little stuff, it's kind of like, oh, okay, down the line they're probably
right.
still not plugged in.
And
Then we
voting
go
is
back
your
to-
civic duty.
And we
Exactly.
go back to education. When I was in high school, we had civics.
Right.
Every
Right.
Wednesday, I
Right.
had Black History, so I knew Hidden Figures. I knew all the things that the windshield wiper, the lights, the open
Right.
heart.
The people
I
who
knew
invented
all of that.
Right.
Right.
But our
Kids
today, they
No.
don't know it. They don't know. I mean, Jay Leno had this as a part of his show. It was funny. They was like, they show a picture of Al Gore, and they did not
And they didn't know who he was.
that was.
Right.
Yeah.
And so again, if we're not going to do it in the school it's your responsibility to provide that to your family.
It
And
sure
if
is.
you don't,
I like the idea that they were saying at one point they would have maybe a day off for people to vote.
that should be
That should be
Yeah.
a law. And
That should
maybe
be.
that would be something the new administration would consider.
yes.
I mean, then that would really stop. That would impact huge. That would be a
That
huge
should
impact.
be that should
It
be
should
a
be
law.
correct. Yeah,
Like,
Exactly.
automatic registration for voting should be
absolutely. When you
law.
get your driver's license, you should automatically be registered. You're right.
And I like my youngest. We graduated from the Keller Independent School District in Tarrant County, and when you got your graduation packet, voter registration was in there.
That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
not
smart.
and that should be across the board. You have some superintendents or some principals, they really do not want you to even mention that on campus.
bizarre.
I'm saying, come on.
I know that would be so great, especially on schools.
Especially at
For those
college
seniors.
campuses, yeah.
Seniors in high school.
Yeah,
and-
it should be sort of a prerequisite before they graduate to do something civic-minded, something.
That, again, that used to be a part of your high school curriculum.
Yeah.
You had to do so many volunteer hours,
Right.
doing something
Some
civically
schools, yeah.
responsible.
Not when I was in
None of
high
that.
school.
I know that there are still a few schools that do that, but not all, and not public schools. I think it probably maybe charter.
Yeah.
or
And
something.
because you would, I don't even recall, honestly, I don't know if I was just tuned out in high school, really explaining the importance of voting or really explaining. I can't, and we even took government, but, I don't know if it was ever really taught to us.
It probably wasn't. Did you go to school here?
This is when I was.
Well, you see, they called slaves immigrant workers,
Oh, God.
migrant workers. So I don't know what.
They're just digitus employees.
Don't get me started.
When my I have 3 children. My oldest, I think when she was in high school, it used to be a show, and it's like conjunction function.
I love that.
Function.
Yeah, and this is a bill.
No, it's Schoolhouse
Rock.
Schoolhouse
Yes.
Rock. That's how I learned the
love
preamble.
that.
Rock,
Yeah.
And it tells you how a bill, and remember when the bill died, where it went over in the corner.
And now I
cute.
become a law.
And you know what? They
And
need to
that-
keep playing that.
And that was perfect.
It was.
And not only that, we had field trips
Mhm.
where we took people to the Capitol.
Yeah.
And you met, your congressman, your senator, and all things like that. And you got to sit in a session and all
Right.
that. We don't do that anymore.
We did
Well,
that.
not to totally go left, but I think people need to know also Metro provides free rides, right, for people
Ooh.
that want to vote.
That is good.
My mother used to work for Metro. She's like, yeah, Metro used to
That-
provide rides
I think-
on voter day. And
Maybe
I know
I heard
I
of
don't
that.
know, is that still in effect? 'Cause remember,
we need. I'm gonna.
last-
They've changed leadership.
the
Right?
last time I remember, we were taking people to a vote, and they were saying you couldn't have over 3 people in your car. And if you got there, you had to stop here. Any
kind of poll
Yeah.
tax they could come
Yes.
up with.
Well, especially like with the Department of Transportation, if you have so many people, then it's considered that you need to have a certain type of driver's
That's
license
right.
in order to do that.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Every measure is being taken to
Okay.
suppress the vote.
So,
So
are you guys
every
going to
measure-
provide some kind of rides, maybe,
Oh,
or
absolutely.
not? Okay.
You know,
I mean, if they could fund
Again,
vans
let's
and
go
buses.
back to your local churches with the church band.
Yeah. But now the churches are sort of, by the wayside right now.
Yes.
But they used to be great about that. Definitely. I would say one of the things I did want to ask you about the convention, if it were not virtual, would you be there in person?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so that's what I thought.
Absolutely.
And this year it is where?
Milwaukee.
Okay, so
and the Democratic headquarters would have actually been in Chicago.
Okay.
And they were going to provide transportation back and forth.
So it's on television. Any other? Can we watch it? Because I don't really watch TV.
She's not a TV person.
But can I see it online?
So
and if
cerebral.
so, what would be the
Facebook?
So it's going to be virtual everywhere?
Convention.
Okay.
Dem convention.
Okay. Now, because it's virtual, so that means there aren't going to be people on stage with the audience going wild. How are they going to keep people engaged? Is there a plan?
You all didn't see the Texas.
Okay.
I think we had over 11,000 people participated. Like the Black Caucus, we had 456 people chiming in or watching virtually, and so it's still they still have kind of things to do, entertainment. They'll have some
so there'll
celeb names and things just to keep people engaged. But
that's cool, and it'll probably even have more engagement because then you can put stuff in the comments.
And
in real time.
And my thing is I think it's working because people are in the comfort of their home.
Right.
They're not spending all of this money, and you can. People get very, very brave.
Right. Now,
they say some of the
they're going to say
things
something
that they would never say to your face, but they can be empowered and
exactly.
Now, is it going to be on all the channels? It's going to preempt all the shows like it typically does? Okay, so people kind of be forced to focus.
I don't
want to say forced. I didn't want to say that word.
I want to think, I don't know the station, but there'll be a station that will just continuously run
a lot of them.
Probably,
I'm sure C-SPAN will do that.
C-SPAN or CNN or something.
And plus, in today's world, we can always probably look at it on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
even next
live streaming, Facebook.
Exactly.
So, who are you looking forward to the most? You know everybody that's going to be on.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm looking forward to Biden's acceptance speech because I'm hoping I believe it's going to be so inspirational.
Yeah, he's going to hit your heartstrings.
And he's going to hit every point that resonates with someone as to how to fix this. I think the game plan will be when they are elected. He will spend a lot of time mending and restoring us into the world.
Yeah.
And I think Senator Harris will focus on fixing things internally. And and each and every year, I think the vice president role kinds of is redefined.
Yeah, it evolves over and over.
And so I think she will play a pivotal point.
Yeah, because no one is perfect, but you at least want people who will listen and be okay with it. Okay, and I think that they will at least listen compared to what we have now that won't even listen.
Right.
And she, she's a mature version, more experienced version of AOC. I admire AOC.
I do too. She's
I love when she grills those people. Wow. I'm like, first I didn't like her, and I thought she was a little bit too much, but I respect the hell out of her.
When she addressed,
because she knows how to hammer home those questions.
And my thing is that when she addressed the gentleman who said those foul things to her, I mean, she was so natural.
And she was so
natural, and you would never
dignified.
know she was not a seasoned politician.
Right.
And that's
she was incredibly
who we have
dignified.
to get more in. We need people who can think. We need people who can understand that I need to make sure my needs are.
Right.
But also, I'm here. I'm this 30-year-old, 20-year-old. I know what I need.
And she knows.
And she knows that.
She does.
And she speaks their
She's very
language.
self-aware.
That's right.
I tell you what's the not so good part, I'll put it nicely, is that whenever women are vocal and they show that they are intelligent and they're not. They can't. They won't back down. The first thing they go, "Ooh, she's so nasty," or "She's so mean," or it's like,
right.
well,
and
you don't say
that's
that
a
about
classic.
you don't
You
say
never
that about
say that
men.
about a guy.
Well, you know, one, we do that to ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
We should.
Yeah.
Which
well,
is bad.
I'm noticing the sisterhood is definitely becoming a lot more cohesive this year. Thank God. I think we got to take a break. I know.
No, it's time for us to start to
Is it
wrap
time
it
to
down.
leave?
So we need
Really?
to know.
Oh my goodness.
So once again, website, any social
Time
media.
flies.
What is that? What's the website again?
Well, I mean, we're gonna. We just need to get texasdem.com so we can all be plugged into the convention and listen to all the wonderful speakers today. Tonight, Senator Bernie Sanders is going to start it off.
Okay.
And followed by the former First Lady Michelle Obama.
Nice.
Okay.
We're going to have youth engaging. We're going to have every aspect of everybody that's been disenfranchised, disrespected. We're going to highlight women and how, with the Democratic Party, how they play a pivotal role, African American women, and having Senator Harris as the vice president. Not only does she resonate with Asian, African American,
Jamaicans.
I mean, she's biracial. Biracial. She's in a biracial marriage. I mean, so she brings so much to the table.
Right.
I mean, she's going to bring the what is it, the Magnificent Nine, the Panhellenic Council.
Right.
All of the Greeks are behind her. So her tentacles.
Yeah, she's got all the AKAs, and that's
so it'll look like America, basically.
Yes.
Yes.
It will
look
like
you.
America.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We really appreciate you so much. What time does it start tonight?
It started. The kickoff breakfast was 10:30.
She's like
so
already started.
Okay, it's already going.
So we have learned a lot
Yeah.
today about voting, and everyone needs to make sure they go and vote, and definitely volunteer. And if you know someone who's not, talk to them. And I like the idea about sending emails and everything to your family and friends, because we got 1,000 friends on Facebook.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. You
We
vote.
need to make sure they're voting.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we
you
will
guys for
see
having
you
us.
next
See you
Monday.
next Monday.
On how you
On
live.
how you live.
That's right. Live well. Take
Live
care.
well.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.